Hey everyone, this is Chris DeFerio with Keys to the Shop. I wanted to come on here and give you a personal message, a message that is meant to kind of encourage us as a community of coffee professionals who are all part of communities greater than the coffee community. We are all citizens of cities and countries, and we see things that are going on in the world around us. In particular, in the United States, we've been going through these horrific events, the racism and terrorism of white supremacy in Buffalo, and then most recently, of course, the school shooting in Texas that I can't even comprehend as a father, and the loss of all of these lives. I believe it's 21 lives now, mostly children. And I truly think it's not only, of course, evil, it's just incomprehensible pain and suffering that I feel in my heart. And as sad and in despair as I feel in these times, I can't even imagine those who are close to the situation, who are directly impacted by this type of thing. And why I'm talking about it today is that we as a community have put ourselves in a place where we preside over space, a sacred space, a space that's assumed to be safe. Coffee shops, the third place. You know, it's not home, it's not work, it's a place where you gather with a community. And the same could be said of grocery stores. You know, somebody coming to pick up a cake for their son's birthday, and their life ends there. A kid going to school and a teacher looking forward to teaching. They go into a school and they assume that today is going to be a day like any other day, 2 days before the summer break, and they don't get to see that. And these spaces are being frequented by people, millions and millions, billions of people all over the world right now, including places like coffee shops and any other public gathering space. There is an aspect of this that, you know, whatever action we take socially and politically as a result of this, we as coffee professionals have a responsibility to continue to provide our space for the community, especially as these sacred spaces have been violated. And what that means is we can't look at our spaces as simply transactional spaces for commerce, especially in the wake of tragedy. And we saw a lot of this with COVID, where the shaking of our foundation of what we can expect for day to day, we as a community were a lifeline to people for a sense of normalcy. And I feel this goes beyond just the rote phrase now of sense of normalcy. I think this really focuses our energies on the phrase sense of humanity, a common connection between all of us, all the people that were wounded and shot, and the families broken as a result of this. These are all your customers. These are the people that come in and get drinks. And one day they may not be in a good mood, and one day they might. And in these moments, none of that seems important. And I think it's because, in a real sense, we're reminded of what is important. And when we get reminded of these things, when, you know, I hugged my son so many times after just meditating on the news and hearing the updates and everything else, and you look around you and you say, you're looking through a different lens now. There's this lens of gathering to yourself the things that have a new sense of meaning, the people around you that are parts of your lives, you have this fresh appreciation for. And everybody around us, whether they're our friends or family or not, or strangers, they're not strangers to somebody. They have a family. They have people that love them, no matter who they are. And again, I think that we are driven by things like this to both contemplate and take inventory of our own lives and our own families and groups around us, and then to take action in various ways. And something we can all do is lean in to that connection that we have to the people that come into our coffee shops, to take both the anger at the tragedy that's happened and the desire to pull people in our lives closer to us as a result of it, and make that a part of what we do and what motivates us, because our communities are thinking about this. Where is safe? How do we enter into these community gathering places? We are a part of this community of people who provide these spaces. Grocery store clerks, teachers, what we do to create an opportunity for people to enter into enjoyment and a staple part of their daily routine. This is a sacred responsibility that we have in our jobs, and I feel it's necessary that we steel our resolve and fight for the same things that those who are in those positions were fighting for, that we embrace and lift up even higher that mantle of responsibility by continuing to offer what we do in coffee, in service to our community, in all of the details of our work, and especially how we show up to our jobs. I always have to remind myself of the fact that as many annoyances and frustrations that I have working behind the bar, each person is of infinite worth. I need to remind myself of that because the work can be hard. But it gets easier once I am reminded of what is truly valuable and what is not. In the midst of the chaos and the despair of the moments, that we consider just how powerful our mindsets and our inclinations towards the humanity that passes through our doors every day, how powerful that is, and how those little interactions are the very things that all of the people whose lives have been lost they're going to be remembered for the most. It's the stuff that we don't even think about oftentimes that makes the biggest difference. And as we enter into the workday, it feels like, what do? We know all this is happening, and we feel like I can't even work. And we have to put hope, at least, if we can't put hope in our society or in politicians, we can put hope in the fact that we have a platform on which we can affect change for the people that come to us day in and day out, not just for a cup of coffee, but for something more, something that we all need. And that's the sacred connection between people that happens in coffee shops every day, and how we conduct ourselves and care for each other and for our communities in the myriad of ways that we do, little and big, every day, matters. It matters a lot. In the midst of our action, socially and politically, let's take action professionally as well. And let's make sure that we default to love each other and our customers well. Thanks everybody for listening today. I'm thankful for you all and the work that you do in the service of something greater than yourselves.